Let's start out with our flagship residential receiver, the HDA 8100. This is our most popular receiver in the residential space. This is a low Z amplifier. It has 8 stereo zone outputs rated at 100 watts per channel into 8 ohms, 200 watts per channel into 4 ohms. They're all stable down to 2.7 ohms. Any one of our 8 stereo channels can also be turned into 2 individual mono channels. What that means is you can have up to 16 zones on this unit just by taking a stereo zone and turning it into 2 separate mono zones. Every one of our zones and every one of our amplifiers has a full DSP built in, so you can do advanced functions for audio correction in the zone, including a high-pass, low-pass filter, 5-band parametric EQ. You can set a zone to stereo or mono. Also has white, brown, and pink noise generators for troubleshooting, and each zone also features a limiter so you can even out the sound for every zone. This particular unit has 8 analog stereo inputs and a coax digital input. All of our inputs between all of our amplifiers are shared over the network, so there's no need for patch cables or any kind of mess wiring with RCAs. This is our HDA 4100 amplifier. Pretty much the same as the HDA 8100, but it only has 4 stereo zones out or 8 mono zones. Same amplifier rating, same power supply, same DSP control as the 8100, just a smaller version for smaller applications. This is our HDA 1600 70 volt and low Z amplifier. This was initially designed for commercial applications, but is also being used in residential. This has 2 channels stereo output. It's got a high output rating. It's our most powerful amp. 600 watts per channel into 8 ohms, 1200 watts per channel into 4 ohms. Also, for 70 volt applications, it has 600 watts of available power. These are used in commercial spaces and residential for large outdoor areas, so that you can power 70 volt speakers and low Z subwoofers at the exact same time. The nice thing about this amp too is that it also has 4 unbalanced RCA inputs, a balanced line level analog input, and with a supplied adapter, you can turn this input into 2 separate microphone inputs. Now, when you talk about microphones, you need to have some sort of signal processing to make sure the microphones sound good. And we built that all into the HDA 1600. Each microphone input has adjustable compressor limiter, noise suppressor, 5-band parametric EQ, also supports phantom power, and input level trim control. So we take care of all the processing where you would normally need an outboard processor for the microphones. Now, because we do all the processing inside of the amplifier, it allows us to do some really cool things with microphones, such as automatic microphone ducking. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn on the music, talking to the microphone. When I start talking, the audio is going to dim down. When I get done talking, the audio is going to come back, and it all happens automatically. Mr. Smith, party of 3, your table is ready. Mr. Smith, party of 3, your table is ready. So all of that ducking, all the parameters for ducking can be adjusted in our software. You can duck the volume as low as you want and have it come back at any particular ramp rate volume coming back. Another unique thing about HDA amplifiers is the ability to store 10 wave files per amplifier. And what these wave files allow you to do is have, for example, in commercial, automated commercials playing in a residential environment, be something simple like a doorbell. So let's give a couple examples of that right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a clip from a bar when they want to announce half-price appetizers at 10 o'clock at night. They have this automatically timed in our system. Every night at 10 o'clock this plays.
It's time for half-price appetizers. Now until 2 a.m., choose from 7 delicious appetizers you know and love, but for half the cost. There's no going wrong with these late-night snacks. Make the late nights great nights, every night at Tito's.
So you notice we duck the audio before the announcement plays. When the announcement plays, we bring the audio back. Another example, one last example, a very simple example, is having a doorbell inside of a house for a residential application. And this can happen as with the commercial announcement. The audio ducks, the doorbell plays, and the audio returns when the doorbell's over. Each amp supports 10 wave files, but they are also shared over the network. So one wave file in one amplifier can be played in any other amplifier. To share all of the sources, the microphones, the inputs, we use AVB. URC has its own AVB switch called the HDA SW5. These are for small to medium size installations. We also partner with Netgear. Our profile for HDA is built into their AVB switch. The Netgear switch is suggested for use for larger installations. Netgear also has PoE built into the switch and the ability to use fiber to transfer all the audio from one location to another. This is our smallest single zone amplifier. This is called an HDA 130. Nice thing about this amplifier is it can be powered by PoE Plus or PoE++, or the supplied wall wart. Gives you 30 watts per channel. It also includes a subwoofer output. It has an optical input and an analog input with a supplied adapter. Comes with L brackets. Typically you can mount behind a smart television. You can plug your smart television into this device, and then it turns it into a stream that can be played in other rooms of the house. So your smart TV in your living room can also distribute its audio to any other room inside of the house. Finally, we have our HDA I/O adapter box. This is two different devices in one. It could be an input device or an output device. Now, when it's used as an input device, this allows you to take any source in the house that isn't at the rack of gear. Maybe there's a turntable, something in a different spot of the house. You plug it into this device and it turns it into a stream that can be fed to any of our amplifiers and listened to in any zone in the house. It can also be used as an output device. When used as an output device, it can take any input, microphone, sound file that's played inside of the HDA system and route it to a home theater. It can also route it to a third-party amplifier, a legacy-style amplifier. By adding this to that amplifier, that home theater, it turns it into an HDA zone. And that's all for me at CEDIA 2025. I'm Peter from URC. Hope to see you soon.